have a little gist for you. It's regarding a matter that really interests my heart. I've heard of this matter before, but I'm not as intrigued and excited as how the story came to life in my heart yesterday night. It was totally different from what I've heard before, and it seems as if it's a new story that has never been told. It's a story of some characters, how they exhibited audacity, faith, and trust. You know, there are some conviction that will make you talk boldly even before king and queens, and there will be nothing will happen. That form of audacity, the conviction that you have somebody solely behind you. That's a kind of boldness I read about this character of humans, and it took delight with that I can call them my forefathers or my forebrothers, because what in God's name is that audacity? There's a way you walk with God. There's a way you are truly trusting God. There's a way that your faith is so solid that even trials and tribulation cannot shift it. The form of faith that even when you are faced with death, you are still sure that you believe on whom you believe. And these characters, my forefathers, my forebrothers, really got me so excited by some audacious word that was spoken. And it kept me thinking that it can only be somebody who is so sure of his God. It can only be somebody who is so sure of the faith he has accepted that can make such statements. Imagine standing before king and telling the king that, oh, so king, in this matter, we need not to answer you. Wow! It can only be faith, it can only be trust, it can only be strong conviction that, be it in death or life, we won't denounce this God. I'm talking about my brothers, my forefathers, Shadrach, meshach, and abednego. Imagine your slanderer, your conspirators, who are trying to do pit for you, eventually saying that you have this audacious faith that fears nobody, that fears no strange God, that fears no strange men, that fears no human who doesn't understand what you accepted. A strange image, strong and mighty, and how should be blown. And somebody who has a bigger God should not bow down to that kind of God. Never, it can't happen. So, this conspirator brought the man to the king, and how foolish of him who thought that because he has province under him, not just one, not just two provinces, plenty provinces, up to 20. We're exaggerating. That's how much of a province he controls as a king. And imagine somebody who found favor in your sight. Imagination. Somebody who appointed, someone who gave a privilege. Imagination is made as human, right? Man has the audacity when you ask a question and you want them to relate the matter. You either want them to disprove of the matter or accept their guilt. And instead of even picking either of these options, they tell you to your face that we have no need to answer to this matter. What of the Almighty test of time, and they really affirmed in their heart that we die or not, we will not and we will never bow down to a strange God. That was the matter of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And the most interesting part is not even this conviction alone, no. The fact that the king, the almighty Nebuchadnezzar, he already made a proud statement that if you do not bow to this God that I have made, I will order you that you should be put into the burning fiery furnace. Do you get? And there will be no God who will be able to save you from my hands. That kind of statement is what I call belittlement. When you've not really tested the power of what these people really believed in. Such belittlement. And it keeps me thinking, after such statement that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego made, I feel like the king should be shocked and be like, should I stop here? But he didn't stop because he doesn't want to bruise his own ego. He wanted to show the world that indeed he is the king and his ordinance stands. But he has forgotten that there is a king bigger than all king, greater than all king and mankind, the king of creation himself. Well, I trust my forefathers. They didn't shake, they didn't falter. They stood their ground. They said they won't bow. And then the king said, okay, oh. He was so furious that he said they should rekindle the fire 7 times of the original fire being made. Just because he's so angry. And my forefather said, I know our God is able to save us. But if not, mark it. If not, even though he doesn't save us, we will never bow to that strange image. And at the end of the day, they were pushed into the fiery furnace. But do you know that instead of being destroyed, being harmed by that fire, it is the mighty men that they were instructed to push these my forefathers into this fire that got slain. Imagine. And eventually, the rope was the only thing that went off from Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And God proved himself again by giving Nebuchadnezzar a little hour of discernment. And he could see, his sights were open. He cannot see clearly. He said, isn't it 3 people we push into the fire? But I'm seeing 4 people. The image of the 4th one, like the image of what? The Son of God, the mighty man of valor. It can only be the 4th man in battle. And in order that Shadrach, Meshach, he went close to the door. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, if you are still there, or please come out. They came out, and voila, he saw that nothing happened to them. The mantle, everything that they went in, not even the smell of the fire or smoke on them. How beautiful this God is. And he ended up acknowledging that no one should ever slander or speak ill of this God of my forefathers. That no one should ever talk ill of this God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because there's no other God who can deliver this way. That's it. That is what happens when you hold firm your belief, you hold firm this God. At the end of the day, those who feel they can boss you around, those who feel they can conspire against you, will end up in shame. So this furthermore confirms the word of God that says, in gathering they shall gather, but not in my name. And since it is not in my name, it will scatter. They will scatter. That was what happened though. instead of shame, instead of death, for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It was glory. It was proof that those who knew their God, they shall what? They shall mount up wings as eagles. And we shall also do exploit. I'm so happy because it was another form of revelation and another form of assurance for me that though tribulation might come to test our faith, but if we truly know whom we serve, whom we've accepted, no matter how far, no matter how long it tarries, we will overcome. And for the slanderers, the conspirator, let them continue. They shall be put to shame, and in their pit they shall fall. So if at any point you've feared opposition, you feared conspiracy, please, it shows that you are not yet grounded, that you don't know what you believe in. Hold fast to that your belief. Hold fast to God. He never fails, even in trials. He never fails. Even if you are faced with it, he never fails. And he loves and cherishes as much as who trust and have faith in him. So let's keep working with God. And let's not be shaking in faith.